Okay, so the second part, the developer notes for the next PTB just released. Here are the other two killer updates, one being Deathslinger changes. And I've read through them already. I can say I don't like them. Let's read. We've kept an eye on Deathslinger since his release last year, and we have few small changes aimed at the PTB. I get it. Power. Currently, there is almost no delay between aiming down sights and being able to fire your weapon. Likewise, there is almost no delay between cancelling your shot and going for a basic attack. This creates a lose-lose situation for survivors. There is nothing they can realistically do to avoid getting hit. For example, if they bolt a window, you can easily aim down sights and fire without giving them a chance to dodge your shot. But if they decide to not vault the window, you can easily cancel your shot and hit them with a basic attack instead. Additionally, since there's almost no delay, the survivor must constantly dodge and run erratically just in case the killer decides to shoot. With that in mind, we've made the following changes. You can no longer shoot until you have fully aimed down sights. Increase the delay after cancelling your shot before you can start a basic attack. Increase the movement speed penalty while aiming down sights. Since the Deathslinger would spend more time aiming down the sights than before if you quickly aimed and fired, I felt it was only fair to increase his movement speed while aiming down sights to compensate. This will cause you to lose less ground while aiming and keep up with the survivor a little longer. Last but not least, we've increased Deathslinger's tear radius to 32 meters. Deathslinger is only a ranged killer that does not have a lullaby, which meant no tear radius reducing perks like Monitor and Abuse could allow you to get close to enough to surprise and hit survivor without them getting any warning whatsoever. Like usual, we have also gone through a few of the Deathslinger's add-ons and given some small buffs, least used powerful ones. We don't know what changes to add-ons they did. There is no information about that, so let's ignore that for now. But let's recap this. Basically the important things. This. You can no longer shoot until you have fully aimed down sights. You cannot quickscope. It's what it basically means. At least that is my interpretation. Feel free to prove me wrong with anything I say. I might not understand some of it. Maybe, but I read it this way and understand it this way. Increase the delay after cancelling your shot before you can start a basic attack. This is probably the best change. It's the cooldown on his M2, so you can't do the instant spamming of your M2, like bang, 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 bang. You don't ever know when I should, because I always spam my secondary ability, well, my ability. That is a good change, but the thing is, these are basically all nerfs, and this decreased movement speed penalty while aiming down sights. This is the only buff they're giving him for all of these changes. And this basically cannot be stronger than moving at 4 meters per second. I don't really even know the distance you actually move while aiming down sights, because no Deathslinger should ever do it. You don't want to hold your M2. Never, ever. It's not what you're supposed to do as Deathslinger. You can play a Huntress at that point. You want to shoot immediately the second you are allowed to shoot. So this does nothing. It does completely nothing unless you move at least faster than survivors, and even then it wouldn't do anything. Because you want to shoot immediately. You will get nothing out of this, ever. It's basically giving his wanted poster and the bullet add-on that both increase baseline movement speed. Baseline, they're like part of his kit, but those are useless. You never want to use them unless you're hardcore memeing, like constantly aiming down sights. It has no value at all, this buff. So you cannot quickscope. That is strong nerf, but it doesn't solve the issue of survivors being unable to dodge. If you have enough field of view on survivors, enough time to shoot them and correct angle, the projectile moves too fast. You cannot dodge that projectile because it moves too fast. If it's properly aimed, you cannot still dodge it. It doesn't matter, you just know that you will be shot. That's all this does. Before you didn't really know when you're going to be shot, now you kind of know, unless the Deathslinger holds his M2 if you're in the open. Like, there's still, this doesn't solve the issue, just covers it for people who don't like him. He's been nerfed in something we don't like, so this makes it fine now, but it doesn't solve actually anything. So this will just make him feel jank, which is the thing I dread the most. He might not be fun to play anymore. I don't know, of course. It's going to be on PTP soon. I'll play hopefully a lot, as long as the queue times are fine, and I will evaluate then and give feedback on the forums. But another thing, they've nerfed his radius to 32 meters. This wouldn't be a bad change if some other compensation went with it. But all this does for survivors is that the intelligent ones who actually pay attention will have more time to hold W and not allow Deathslinger to get close enough so he can engage in a chase. They're basically, the optimal way to use this will be to just run away before he can get close enough so that there is no interaction between the two of you. This is what this will do. It's not terrible, but compared with all of this, it is terrible together. He's only been nerfed. There wasn't a single buff, meaningful buff in this. This is not a buff. This is useless. I'm so far very upset about this change, and this might be goodbye to me playing Deathslinger, depending on how it plays out once these changes hit live. Shall they be good when I actually play them at the PTB? I really don't think so. I think they'll be terrible. I think it will feel so horrible to play him. But I can't tell right now. But I'm pretty sure that if these changes come to life, I'll just play Nemesis. Anyway, I've played Nemesis for the last month or two a lot, and not as much Deathslinger anymore. Not because I don't like Deathslinger, I've played a lot of Deathslinger and still love him, but Nemesis is more new and he's very similar to Deathslinger, so I just might play Nemesis from now on. I won't upload videos of Nemesis on this channel. This channel is only Deathslinger. I don't really want to make any other videos other than Deathslinger. I've made this channel solely to play Deathslinger. But with these changes, I might not play him anymore if he's not fun anymore. So I'm scared this will ruin him. But anyway, I've been ranting about this far too long. I hope it's not as bad as it reads, but right now from what it reads, it sounds horrible. Horrible. So yes, we will see. I'll wait for the PTB and see if he's any good, and not even good. Like, he won't be a bad killer if these changes go through. He will still be in probably B tier, probably not top anymore, but at least in the middle or low B tier, because he was like either low A tier before or very high B tier like on the life as he is now, at least in my opinion. This won't ruin him. He'll still do the things he does, but he'll be worse at everything. I don't like these changes. I hope they won't go live the way they are presented. I'll do my best to give good feedback so that this doesn't hit live. At least not without some serious compensation, like reduced mist cooldown, faster reload, some other interesting good change that would make it more fun to play him and incentivize using his power well. Something, anything at all. But not decrease movement speed penalty while aiming, which is something you should never do as Deathslinger. Anyway, I've mentioned already, I need to stop. This was long enough of a rant, but I needed it, because these changes are horrible. Good thing Bloodhunt just released. I'll be playing a lot of that game. Anyway, see you on the PTB. Hopefully I'm wrong and these aren't horrible, but I doubt it. Other changes there are good though. These are dead. They've been completely gutted to the point where they're healthy. So yes, a win. other changes in these updates are actually pretty great, so it's not all bad. Not all bad. So, okay, bye bye. Yahoo, or whatever. That was horrible.